It's really, really great being here. Our hostages are home. We're still waiting for those that were murdered to return. But as a side benefit, it's nice flying here directly, not having to take 2 stopovers, sleeping in some other country, and knowing that it's a 10-hour trip, not a 23-hour trip. Thank you all, and thank you, Ophir. I'm really happy to introduce my co-panelists. I'll start with Ketty. Ketty is the Chief Growth Officer over at Palta, a platform of mobile apps including Flow, 80 million monthly MAU. Simple and Zing AI, she advises startups like Soundermind, which is a mental health startup valued at over $1 billion. Runa, acquired by Strava. Guardio, open and serves as a board advisor on Helios X, which has around $1 billion of ARR. 100 million of, billion, right? Yeah, okay. And then Mickey. Mickey is the Chief Marketing Officer at Photomyne, a publicly traded company on the Taze that helps people around the world scan and digitize their entire photo collections with over 50 million users worldwide. And more than a decade of experience in B2C marketing, Mickey leads Photomyne's global digital and global marketing, driving the company's continued expansion and success. On that note, I'd appreciate if you guys can talk a little bit about your companies, and then we'll jump into some of the questions and hopefully have time for Q&A at the end.
Thank you, Jonathan. So for those who don't know what Palta does, Palta lives in the intersection of being parent company and venture studio. We create the ideas and then we hire founders to execute on them. We have around 500 million in revenues. We are valued over $1 billion. By European unicorn, I'm the only one living in Israel, though I don't work in Israel. I work abroad. We have launched such apps as Flow. Flow is #1 women's health, more than 80 million MAU, 65% organic traffic, 80% second-year retention, the numbers you can just dream about. We have Simple, Zing, and some other apps in our portfolio. I lead the centralized growth function, which oversees user acquisition, product growth, monetization, engagement over all apps. And as Jonathan mentioned, I'm also advising top-tier companies in US and UK.
That's great.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Jonathan. Thank you. And Ophir, thank you for doing this conference. It was supposed to be with Iran stuff, so we're happy we're here. We're all safe. So I'm Mickey from Photomyne. We started about 10 years ago, and the vision was to help users and people all around the world to scan their photos, slides, and negatives. Sounds easy, but every household contains between 1,000 to 10,000 old photos that needs to be scanned. And the option for that is either to ship them away or to have them stuck in a box in the attic. So we developed a suite of apps actually, that uses AI and helps the user to scan their photos very easy and quickly. We evolved from actually a paid app in the beginning 10 years ago into a suite of apps that allows users to do that, all using AI algorithms. We scan up until today about 500 million photos, slides, and negatives that were scanned with the apps. And we're about 400K active subscribers, users who are actually paying for the service on a monthly or yearly basis. We are totally B2C company that trying a lot to work and get a lot of user acquisition to get more people on board into the system. I'm happy to be here.
Great. Is this working? Okay, it is working. And just a little bit about Zedge. So Zedge has a portfolio of digital businesses. We've got the Zedge marketplace with around 25 million monthly active users. We focus on mobile phone personalization. We surpassed 750 million downloads to date, primarily through organic channels. We've got another business called Emojipedia, which is the Wikipedia of anything and everything having to do with emojis. And then we have a business by the name of Guru Shots, which is a competitive platform for photo competitions. And we've actually taken that business and we've expanded it from being a direct-to-consumer business into a B2B play, getting into the world of AI by selling and licensing data sets to foundational AI companies that have needs in order to improve their model and their models accordingly. So it's an interesting shift for us. And I'll start off with AI, and I'm really interested in understanding how each of your companies are engaging with AI. I think that every presentation today, every meeting that we go to today will have something related to AI, but I'm really interested in understanding what's the difference between how you're using AI and the hype. There's a lot of hype out there. And then there's the reality, and how does AI actually deliver business results in a meaningful fashion?
Okay, so I'll start. So we actually started with AI in Photomyne about 10 years ago. So we didn't put it in the front, so it was only in the back end. All our algorithms was using AI, and nobody cares about it, right? If you scan the photos, it works, and nobody cares. But 3-4 years ago, when the whole revolution started, we really understood that that we had to be in the front. So it means that we need to bring the AI to the front of the company and make sure that Photomyne will be there as a place to that embrace AI and put it in the product. And one of the things that we did, that we try to integrate AI into the product, at the beginning. So we worked hard about trying to think about what will be like the right feature. And as we evolved, and it took some time, everything changes. So it was a lot of changes during all the time, up until we were 100% ready to start and launch AI. And we actually had it in the product, and we created a feature that helped users to create a couple portrait that was there and was beautiful, but it wasn't the right fit for our users. So our users wanted to scan photos, and we created the features using AI. But it really helped us to understand exactly how this ecosystem works. What does it mean to integrate a feature using AI, and taught a lot about the buzzwords of the ecosystem, about the industry, and about how to work. And it was a way for us to put it in the front. So algorithms, it's fun and it's funny and it's okay and it's working, but to put a feature is something that really help us. Of course, I think most of the company, 99% of the company, are using AI internally. So we are using it for ChatGPT, and we're using it for creative. And as the previous lecture mentioned, it's all about creating AI inside the business. But I think if you split it into two, if you think about a product, a feature that can help you in the product, that's a process that you need to do fast, and make sure that you integrate it as soon as enough, as not all the trends will go forward. But also internally, make sure that the people that you're getting into the business are people that are embracing it and understanding exactly how can it benefit the company.
Well, just to add that probably the most interesting part here is how you actually treat it as a system and not as a buzzword. So how you don't jump on each new shiny thing, and how you think about systems that compound over time as growth. How you embedded that into the models that are really important for you. If it's CAC, LTV prediction, if it's retention loops, or whatever works for you. How you make it a culture, an amplifier, and not a replacement, where you don't need top-down control like use tool X or tool Y, where people understand that with AI they can achieve much faster results, but it's not about AI will do the job instead of me and tomorrow I can be retired. How I become much more creative and much more efficient with AI. So it's about culture and efficiency for us, at least.
What we've done is we've actually embedded that culture by asking each of our teams to identify projects that, with the benefits of vibe coding, AI, and automations, would help solve real problems for them. And then we've taken it a step further and we've empowered those teams, and they are actually going out and building their own solutions. It is a mind shift in terms of how do you think about a problem, how do you solve the problem, as opposed to handing it off to an engineer who will then come back and then you have to iterate. And we started off simple, but that pride of ownership and the ability to actually tangibly feel the results of the effort that your team has undertaken and has solved is just been incredible in terms of driving that cultural change. And we expect that that will continue to be the case going forward. Of course, we've embedded AI throughout our product-facing side of the business as well, but that real cultural change is critical for success. It can't be viewed as just being an outsourced thing. I'm going to change the topic and talk a little bit about UA. UA continues to be at the forefront of the success of our business, and prices are going up. There are different channels. There is social, there is influencer, and there are regional issues on the UA side and so on and so forth. I'm really interested in hearing a little bit more about how are you looking at UA in this vastly changing universe. It's no longer last touch attribution. You find a lookalike audience, and then you can basically, relax. It's a much different world out there, and we'd love to hear a little bit more about what each of your companies are doing.
So I think it sits currently on 3 pillars. It's data. Once you nail the data, the signals, just the game of creatives and funnels. With AI, you can run Creative Factory, and this is what we are doing. We're talking about thousands of creatives per week that we're launching that help us to offset the rise of CPMs. And of course, the funnels. Funnels tailored to creative angles, funnels tailored to jobs to be done, web funnels as well that make user acquisition much more efficient. For those who are not using web funnels, you're late to the party. This is the trend that became kind of hype probably a year ago. Palta was doing funnels and built a whole infrastructure, the payment infrastructure on funnels almost 4 years ago. So when we talk about web funnels, obviously you don't pay Apple fee, but there are some things that people don't talk about. The retention of credit card payments is much higher on web, and on web you can price differently. This is how people perceive web. So it's a huge acquisition funnel for us. At Palta, 80% of the traffic is web.
Okay, cool. I'll add to that, and I'll touch the creative side of the business. I think like all the industry changes from like what you mentioned about lookalikes and targeting an audience and interest into like a black box era where we just put a campaign, it's all automatically Smart Plus on TikTok or it's AAA on Facebook, and then we just hope for the best. But I think on the creative side, we have a lot of power and control into it. If it's to create thousands of creatives and have the machine being fed with a lot of creatives to change the ship, or on the other hand, to think about the messaging and the right audience that it will bring. Because each creative that will be plugged into the binary of the code of Meta algorithms and will pick up has this own audience that is being like shifted towards. And it's really hard to change the ship course in a way that will like bring you other audiences. So I think creative side, when you see change something inside the app, post-install and data allows you to understand if you got the right audience or not. If you didn't get the right audience, if the numbers are not matching up or not looking the same as last week, right? If something changing the conversion to free trial, conversion to paying subscriber, you have to make sure that maybe the creative change in a way that the algorithms of like all the social networks are there. Web to app, I have to agree. It's a great platform and another like revenue channel. I think there is another lecture here by Rui from Simply that will like talk about like another revenue channels that really allows apps to not only work with like on social media and stuff like that, but also on web that allows you to really unlock new audiences there as well.
Great, and for us, the way we're looking at UA. That's great. This is, I was actually in San Diego last week at a different presentation and the computer died in the middle. So hopefully I'm not, doing something wrong. But the way that we are looking at UA is also similar to what you've described, but we've built, or I should say we're in the process of building a fully automated system where with the advent of AI, we're able to actually go out, send an agent to work, take a look at what the competition is doing, the stuff that's working, we can then have created automatically, review that, and then launch, and then take a look at numbers and double down on the ones that work. So I touch upon that notion of cultural change with respect to AI. I'd like to move to monetization for a minute. And being that primarily we're not in the gaming space, we are the 20%, I guess, here. We know that subscriptions have worked very, very well for the non-gaming space, where one has a lot of daily active users. Obviously, advertising works well. Interested in hearing your thoughts about new monetization strategies that are not necessarily being used at scale today, but that do have great promise.
So last year we introduced second and third tier subscriptions, which doesn't mean upsells. We are basically creating new revenue streams in our apps. For example, if you have a fitness subscription, we're going to upsell your body scan as a second subscription, but basically you need it as a recurring feature and you're paying another $9.99 or $15.99 or whatever price works for you as a second subscription. We do lots of bundling at the very beginning and upselling, and this is how we maintain our unit economics.
Cool. I think monetization can really relates to what you do like inside the app and how you like segmentize the users like post install. As I mentioned before, it's really hard to get installed. They're very expensive, and when you get it, at least 50% of the users are not finishing the onboard, and then you just miss the users. But the users you actually acquired and are there, we have developed a system of user communication that really helps us to go back to the users and make sure that we understand exactly what's the status of the users, where they're getting themselves back inside the app, and what we can offer them. If it's an upsell or a new subscription, or if they're expired, so maybe a new subscription with a discount. And we are trying to create a lot of segmentation inside the app, which allows us to really pinpoint on real time and make sure that we understand the value of each user who is coming back to the app, right? So Photomyne is not like a day-to-day app. You open the app when you want to scan photos. It might be like a project. And when you're coming back to the app, we have to make sure that we understand you. Another thing that we did is we actually created another revenue channel and monetization. So we sell accessories on Amazon that are part and are complete, like all the process with Photomyne scanning, so you can buy actually physical stuff on Photomyne. So it's not bringing the revenue of Photomyne, but it does create a new revenue channels, physical, very easy to maintain, and to infrastructure. It really helped us.
Okay, there we go. What I'll do is let me look forward. What are your priorities for the upcoming year?
Cool. I think there's a lot of distraction in the industry, in the ecosystem. It's really hard to come to the office and decide exactly what's going to be your main task. So I think like the main thing for like myself and the company is focus, is understanding the roadmap, even if it's short, understanding what is the next thing that you want to achieve this year and make sure that you are achieving it. This comes along with all the trends that are like happening, and you have to make sure to be on trends, especially trends on creative and trends on audiences and things that will apply to your product and make sure that can help your users become more like stickiness and engagement with the app.
I think it didn't change since the last year and 2024. It's still scale, efficiency, and margins. AI is just the amplifier, so I'm getting back like to what I've said previously. The priorities didn't change, just the way how you achieve them.
And from our perspective, as we are building out from being a D2C or B2C company into a B2B play as well, looking at how we can repurpose content that our creator community is responsible for using to monetize and to grow their business, and take advantage of that with respect to bringing value to the AI community. The purpose of being, or the goal of being able to repurpose assets that you have and use them in other use cases is something which really opens up potentials that can provide very, very positive ROI over the future. Do we have time for questions, Ophir? No. Okay. Well, I'll be here for the rest of the day along with my co-panelists. Any of those people in the audience that are interested in marketing positions, we are hiring. Stop me. Don't be shy. And I really appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thank you.